Hello everyone, welcome to 10 years of Glitch. Even though, while researching and doing the collecting I needed to for this special, I realized that title is wrong. I have been doing this for 11 years actually. I just have only been doing YouTube for 10 years. There was 1 year where I I made 2 videos and I just never released them until like 2008 or 9, even though they were made in 2007. To my knowledge, the 2 videos I'm talking about are the only 2 videos I ever made in my first old childhood house before moving to this one where I have been since 2008, which is really interesting to me. But, yeah, so basically this special is just celebrating the 11 years I've been doing this show, and basically doing a breakdown of how the channels and everything has gone on, and basically the life of this channel, even though, as you'll see, it spans through many different channels. Like 6 to be exact. So, without further ado, this is the history of Glitch. So, basically, the history starts, like I said, in the pre-YouTube era, 2007. Now, obviously, that's not before YouTube existed. YouTube's existed since 2005. But like I said, I'd made 2 videos before making a YouTube account and actually uploading things in 2007. These 2 videos were walkthroughs for Super Mario 64 DS, a game which I believe had been released the previous year. Originally I thought this might have been recorded in 2006, but then I realized that I never actually had a personal camera until 2007, so that would be impossible. So this is the first video I ever made, and you can tell that it's before I made a YouTube channel because I just straight up used my real name. Let's take a look.
Hey, I'm Mike. Welcome to my walkthrough series. The first of, I hope, many to get all 150 stars. And if you've got them all, I don't know why you're watching this walkthrough series. Now, first one you gotta do is pretty simple. Because all you gotta do is get to the Bomb King at the top.
Fuck, yeah, that's how my voice used to sound when I was 12. And you know what? It honestly didn't get much better than that until about 17 or 18 years old. So there's a lot of that. Fucking late blooming. Fucking hell. Anyway, so that was the pre-YouTube days. So I love Super Mario 64. It's my favorite game of all time. But I would go on car trips a lot, and we would go out places where I had no access to a TV, my Nintendo 64, and Super Mario. So, as a kid, I had Super Mario 64 DS, and my cousin and I at the time had, let's just say, ways of putting cheat codes into these games. It was really fun, and you could do a lot of crazy stuff with it. Super Mario 64 DS was a great game. My favorite game to use cheats on, because platforming games, fuck, man, you can do so much. A lot of them, like moon jumping and sprinting and all this cool stuff. When I realized, when I did these, I realized that they would break the game a lot, and a lot of glitches would come up. So, a friend of mine at the time, I was over at his place and I was showing him these tricks that I was doing, and he said, "You know what? We should record them and put them online." I thought, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. He's gotten out his phone. A phone in 2008, as you might not know, didn't really have the best recording capabilities, as you'll see in the footage. And basically, the 2 of us decided to record it and just show a little annotated thing of here's what you can do, here are the cheat codes you need, and this is the effect that it can have on the game. And we did a lot of great things like sinking through the floor into an out of bounds zone that counted as water, so you could swim around the place, and a lot of glitches where if you hit the water at a certain point, you could walk under the water and it didn't act like water. A lot of other ones where it didn't load in, it didn't do loading zones properly, so you would go through a door too fast and you would end up in an unloaded zone, which was just like this transparent area you could walk around in. A bunch of stuff like that. Here's a clip of it. Now you'll notice in that one, very wisely, there is no talking. There was no commentary in it. Because it was recording on a phone, we sat silently. There was one video where we did have audio that was not from the game though, and I remember this very fondly. The backing song we used over it was Scatman John. You know, I'm the Scatman. Oh man, that fits right up there with the nostalgia levels. Up there with I'm Blue, songs like that. Oh man, I still love that song to this day. Fucking Scatman John, man. He was kind of a big thing involving Super Mario 64 videos around that time. A lot of videos were using him, and there was a big association with Scatman John and Super Mario 64, and we got in on the very start of that, which I found was pretty cool. I don't know if I have film of that episode, but if I do, I put the clip here. If I just continue talking, then I don't have it, sorry. The interesting thing about that, though, is that we thought, oh, what should we call it? We didn't have a name for it. So, it's about glitches, and it's about Super Mario 64. So we named the channel, basically, Glitchman64. Although when we were naming it, we forgot the I, so it ended up being Glitchman64 with no I. GLTCHMAN 64. And basically, that was the birth of Glitch 64. Ever since then, 10 years ago, I have kept the word glitch and the number 64 in every variation of my channel name. It's always been there. The only thing that's a little cringy about that name is putting man in your name when you're 13, because you're not really a man at that point. I'm 23 now and I'm not even a man, so But that was that, and that was really interesting. And that channel lasted from 2008 to 2009. The problem with that channel is that I deleted it. The channel, I completely deleted. All the videos are gone. The only reason I have the videos, the clips that you saw, is because my mate at the time made a channel as well called Feature Filmer 64, where he put backups of those videos, and obviously his interest in YouTube dropped when he, got a life, and I never did. But yeah, he forgot about it very quickly, which means that those videos in that channel are just still standing there. And if you type in Feature Filmer 64, spelled exactly as you would think, Feature Filmer, you will find those 3 videos that we did. They're still there, which is crazy. So, if you want to see the technical birth of the channel and everything that is now, go there. So around that time, Glitchman64, it's very hazy. I don't remember a lot of it at all. Of course, this is 10 years ago, and the recorded proof all was lost in late 2009. So it's been lost for almost 9 years. So it's very, very hard to recall. In fact, I barely recall any of the next channel, but yeah, 2008 and 9, very weird. I remember the setups that I did for the next channel. So the last thing I'll say about Glitchman64 was that I did a few more glitch videos, and then my interest sort of turned to Let's Plays. I was watching a lot of those walkthroughs at the time. The term Let's Play I saw coined around the 2010 era, and that's when I started doing that. Before then it was just walkthroughs and playthroughs. So I did a few of those, and the name bugged me. I couldn't change it, and the fact that there was no I in the name was sort of getting on my nerves. I wanted a proper channel, and I don't know what it was. The older Let's Plays of mine, playthroughs of mine, sorry, this is pre-Let's Play, of mine was sort of getting on my nerves. I wasn't really proud of them, and there was just so much clutter on the channel, I kind of wanted a fresh start. Enter the next channel, Glitchman642. This time it had the I and a 2 at the end. I feel like Glitchman64 with the I was either taken, or I actually purposely put the 2 there because I wanted it to be the next step in the channel, sort of an evolution, going into more proper Let's Plays and stuff. And that was a channel that I recorded right here in this room. Of course, it looked nothing like it does now. The room was completely bare. I had a table, which I now... No shit, I still have. It's my desk. This table, of course there wasn't a fancy keyboard on it. This table, 2 chairs for the table, basic, crappy, sort of brown chairs. This TV, this 2 TV, that's the one I used all the way until I got this and similar TVs around 2012. This is the one I used. I've had this for 23 years. Listen to the sound that makes me turn it on. Listen to that. That ding boom. That the power button's down there, right? I wonder if it actually turned on. Let's see. Does it give me a picture? Oh yes. As you can see, it's gotten very old. These lines are now on there permanently, but you know, it still works. Apart from the fact that obviously these are here. It can get in the way, but you know, it still works 23 years later. Fucking hell. In fact, I think it's older than me. I think my mum had this TV before she had me, so maybe it's like 25, 26 years old. It's an old TV. It's a very early 90s TV. So I was using that, and I had my Wii hooked up to it. The Wii was the newest console at the time. Could you imagine this? This is pre-Wii U, pre-PS4, pre-Xbox One, obviously pre-Switch. But yeah, this is around the time where the Wii, the PS3, and the Xbox 360 were not only the newest, but were kind of new. Like, they were getting... It was sort of halfway through the lifespan of most of these consoles. Yeah, yeah, the Wii was further on in its lifespan a little, but for the 360 and the PS3, it was at the height of its lifespan. So, yeah, imagine playing those consoles on that shitty little thing. And, God, I don't remember having any other furniture. I had a few shelves with very little stuff on it. Some movies, very few games, and even less consoles. And, well, that's turned into this, and all this stuff that I've collected over the years since then. It's amazing. And I'm going to do a proper thing at the end of the video, is like, oh, fuck, it's changed. Because I actually have video of this room, somewhat. Not from this era, but from like 2012. So let's continue Glitchman642. Basically, I had a shitty tripod, and I had a little digital camera. I would put the digital camera on the tripod and point it at this TV. This was obviously before it had those permanent lines running across the screen, because otherwise that would have been a right mess. Now, this digital camera, as you may know, a lot of older digital cameras from around that era did that thing where the shutter speed and the refresh rate of the TV did not mesh well at all. What did this mean? Well, you might know it more commonly as black lines running down the TV as you're recording it. I can't get that effect now because my iPhone camera and this proper camera that I have now don't do that anymore. This one kind of has a little bit of a black lines really fast jittering across the effect, but doesn't have that long black line lowering down the screen, then starting back up again. I can't get that effect nowadays. If you have an old shitty camera, try it though. I can't even do it with this, my old iPhone 4 camera, because even this is too new to do that sort of thing, so. But basically I did walkthroughs like that, and I sat behind this shitty digital camera with Wii remotes held out around the camera like this, so you couldn't see the hands, and I would talk. I did like Mario Galaxy this way. I can't remember much else I did back then, but I very vividly remember Mario Galaxy because at that time, I think it was, no, you know what, this is before I had a laptop. So I would record it here, and then we had a computer room in the other room. So I didn't have this desk with a computer on it. Now, there was a computer room that we had all the way next to the living room. So right near my mom and the TV, just the room next to it, I would be editing this stuff. And the interesting thing is later on I would actually be recording some stuff in that room, but we'll get onto that later. And basically I would plug in the little digital camera, get all the files off, and put it all into Windows Movie Maker, stitch it all together. Very basic stitching together. In fact, that hasn't really evolved much at all. And then released it. And that was, I felt better about those than I did about the Glitchman 64 videos. I'm not sure what setup I had that was somehow worse than that. It's a very ghetto setup. In fact, very early on, at the end of Glitchman 64 and the beginning of Glitchman 64 2, so 2009, I didn't even have a tripod. That was 2010 onwards. In 2009, I brought over a shelf, and then I stacked books, and I put it on top of the books. This was kind of bad though, because some of the books curved, which means that at the bottom of the shot, you had the spine of whatever book it was on, and if I tried to move it forward so that the spine would be off screen, it would fall. So it was a battle. It was a tough battle. I wish I had some of them, but unfortunately, Glitchman 64 2 was not deleted. Get this, in 2011, it got 3 copyright strikes in a row. And those copyright strikes back then meant that the channel was terminated overnight. It was gone. I had no way to salvage the videos. Back then, I didn't keep backups of the videos. Everything was gone. So that sucked, and I had deleted Glitchman 64, so I had no other channel to go back to. So that kind of sucked, and that was the end of the Glitchman era. At the end of, well, near the beginning of 2011, really. Like, it was January 2011 where that happened. That was the end of the Glitchman era, or at least the main Glitchman era, because at that time, around 2010, I believe, yes, 2010, I did videos with a friend of mine, Josh, and we had a channel called Glitch Bros 64, and that was basically where we did co-op games. In fact, you can go to Glitch Bros 64. Funnily enough, the only way to get it to show up in your search engine on YouTube is to type in Glitchman 642 and find the video that has Glitchman 642 in the description. That will take you to the channel, and you can see the 3 videos that are still up there. 3 Mario Kart 64 co-op races. But there were more videos on there. We did live skits and things like that. We did disastrous cooking videos where we would mix a bunch of shit together that should not be mixed together and try it and like vomit. We had another video where there was like a punching bag, a standing like vertical punching bag thing, and we like tried to hit it with a bunch of things like baseball bats, well, you know, foam bats, and it would hit the ball and like bounce back and hit us. And all these funny little skits that we did. Those don't exist anymore, but the Mario Kart 64 stuff is still up there. And you probably won't want to watch it, because here's a clip, literally the only clip with audio of me talking from the Glitchman era, which is kind of interesting when you think about it, but here it is. This is how I sounded in 2010, which means I was 8 years ago, so 15? 14? No, 15. Yes, this is how I sounded when I was 14 or 15.
Hey,
Sorry, don't cut it. You come last now too.
I was trying to aim for Peach. Where'd Bowser come from?
I don't know, he's on steroids, I tell ya.
You'll get a good item. And there you go. Yes.
I'll be first.
No, Bowser is. And Peach is third. It won't hit me.
Yes, who Peach will in it?
Yeah, it should. Come on. Oh, what the heck? It hit me, but not Peach.
What? That means you didn't have first player either. Since every second person, doesn't it?
It hit me and Wario.
Yeah, it kind of makes you want to do that. So yeah, I did a few videos with Josh.
Okay. Cookie boxes get us more energy. It refills our energy bar and gives us an extra bit of health, kind of like a Zelda game with all the hearts and whatnot. And yeah, there are also chips that increase our health. No, there's nothing in that. There are things in breakable objects.
I wouldn't do that if I
Oh yeah, and these are the lasers, you can't trip them or anything, you actually
too, but I meant stepping into the light.
like objectives from that.
Looks like some kind of amphibian.
Yeah, oh, we should probably go into that.
cliche? Let's find ourselves a
Die.
Oh, where's the thing? Oh, we lost
I'm
it.
sorry, but I'm killing this granny.
I'm hitting. Oh.
You dropped this chicken. And
Okay,
there's
so chips.
And there was another person I did videos with, someone named Jordan. In fact, I got both of them together in one of the Super Mario Galaxy videos from Glitchman 64, the original, back in 2009. One of the first videos I did with other people around was I had Josh and Jordan there during one level of Super Mario Galaxy, the Beach Ball Galaxy. And as you can imagine, three 13-year-old boys sitting there watching Beach Ball Galaxy, obviously it's just a bunch of immature and stupid jokes in a very high-pitched voice. So, that was that. But, I mean, it was kind of interesting, and I wish I still had them. I know that those ones I had backed up all the way up to about 2012 or 2013. I know I had these backed up because that was around the time that I released the pre-YouTube videos, the two Super Mario 64 DS walkthroughs. I had them backed up, but that laptop fried. That was the, no, it wasn't the laptop, it was the computer. Right, the computer fried. I keep forgetting that I didn't actually have a personal computer until way up until 2014. But, that's, somehow it feels like it's been so long since I've had a personal computer, but really, we had a shared computer all the way up till 2014. And that might seem bad, but you gotta remember that in this house it's only me and one other person. So a shared computer, especially when the other person didn't use the computer that much, wasn't really a big thing. There was no real need for me to have my own computer until university. So that's sort of why that is. Anyway. So yeah, that was that. And then I still kind of did a little bit of stuff with those guys on the next channel, but that did eventually stop. And that is the end of the Glitchman era, which ran from technically 2007 to early 2011. So that's the end of part 1 of this. I hope you'll stay tuned for part 2, which is the glitched 64 era. So yeah. Intermission time.
Hey guys, so basically what this video is, I enjoy collecting things, mainly DVDs and games. So, I want to do a video about that. Now, this isn't like my gaming videos that I know from my Let's Plays. If you want to see a really good Let's Play, and you're not interested in this video, then click here. There should be a fun video that I'll pick out at random, that'll be there, to show you what my channel is actually all about. But for those of you who are interested in my DVD collection and my game collection, Here we go. This is DVD and Game Collection Episode 1. And they're going to be broken up into 3 subparts. Consoles, games, and DVDs. So without further ado, here we go. Games, obviously I'm going to have to do game consoles first. So without further ado, here are the game clips. Bring the tripod up. You know what, I'll just put the camera, because this tripod is and shit.
Isn't that a lovely sound?
So here we have an NES, and you're going to have to pardon the clutter on the table here.
So, welcome back. Now it's time to get into April 20, 2011, also known as the birth of Glitch 64.
Hey everyone, welcome to my first playthrough. I'm going to do a game that I think gets a lot of bad rap just because it's a Pokemon game, and not a lot of people are actually willing to try it. Pokepark Wii Pikachu's Adventure. But you know, first episodes. Pikachu, that's your... No, I'm not going to do impressions, screw that. That's a good name. My name is Mew. I need your help. The sky prism, which protects the Pokepark, has shattered, and the pieces have fallen all over the Pokepark.
This was the... Sorry, my throat's real dry from talking so much. This was when I uploaded the first part of my Pokepark Wii Let's Play. In fact, we have a clip of it. And, yeah, that was really, something. It was still the, point the camera at the screen sort of thing. Run back and, get all the files off, put on Movie Maker. But my, commentary style, I felt, had evolved. And instead of just making dumb jokes and yelling, I was telling stories, telling tidbits about the game, my experiences with it, and that's kind of what playthroughs and Let's Plays were and are. They're getting to know the person behind the camera and getting to know more about the game they are playing. You don't just, when you watch a Let's Play, it's not just to see how to beat the game. In my opinion, it's learning facts about the game, knowing about the person, knowing about the channel. Back then, obviously, I was a big fan of Nintendo Capri Sun, Chugga Conroy, Deceased Crab, Proton John, Playing with My Wii, Slim Kirby. In fact, I'm still subscribed to all these channels. There was other ones, plenty of other ones I watched, and it was great. The ones that stuck with me the most were ones like Nintendo Capri Sun, where they would talk just about their life. I think the Let's Play that sticks out for me the most would probably be Nintendo Capri Sun's Donkey Kong 64 Let's Play. In fact, that was the one where I actually went to his vlog channel. That was how much I was sort of interested in the person behind the camera. And that's kind of style I wanted to imitate. And Glitch 64 sort of became that for me. And the interesting thing is that with all these other channels, I look back a year or two later, in 2009 I looked at the 2008 videos and go, you know, that one sucks, I don't really like it. In 2010 I'll look at the 2009 videos and go, oh god, that's cringy and horrible. And in 2011 I'll go back to 2010 and go, oh, what was I thinking? 2011, late 2011, when I did Glitch 64, that was the first time I had pride in my work. I would be able to watch my videos a year or two in advance and be like, you know what? This was good. I like how this video came out. It's not the greatest, of course my voice is still very high-pitched, but working with the limitations I had, with no capture card and not being able to go through puberty until I was like 20 million years old, I felt like I'd still done a good job, despite those setbacks. It was the first time I could watch my videos without cringing, and that was a big step point for me. The Glitch 64 era... My throat's really dry. The Glitch 64 era, early on, was the last videos that I did with Jordan. We did a a series on Slender when that was brand new, when it was just that basic collect 8 pages game. And that was it. Before it got made into a full game, before it had all these clones and everything and all this shit now, it was literally just when it was that base game. And those were the last videos I did with him. With Josh, we did a couple of videos later than that. I think near the end of 2012 or the beginning of 2013. No, you know what? It would be the end of 2012. So at the midway point of Glitch 64, I made my last videos with Josh, which was a couple of parts of the Over the Hedge video game, and we did a co-op of that. That was the last time I had him on the channel. And since then, I'm still good friends with Josh. He just doesn't really like to do YouTube stuff and be on camera anymore, really. So he doesn't really do that stuff anymore. Doesn't really have the motivation to do it. And the rest of my friends, except for one, which we'll get on to, don't really like being on camera. So that's fair. You know, we don't do that. So that's fine. We're still friends. We didn't fall out. Again, Jordan, we didn't fall out. It was just after high school, we stopped talking. So, that's all. There was no falling out with anyone that I've, done IRL collabs with, which is great, because you hear a lot of stories of, like, obviously, when you collaborate with someone you know in real life, at some point there's a falling out, and it's like, well, yeah, these videos suck to watch now. But, never really had that. Had that on the spin-off channel. But that's not a story I want to go into at all, and I don't even want to really touch on the spin-off channel too much, even though it is now 6 years old. But the Glitch 64, it's really hard to say, because obviously you know now that this channel is called The Glitch 64, but I'm talking about the space Glitch 64 era, as opposed to the Glitch 64 era. It was short-lived. It only ran for less than 2 years, starting in April 2011 and ending in March 2013. This is interesting because the Glitch 64 started and its first video was uploaded in June 2012, which means that for about a year, a bit less than a year, like 9 months, Glitch 64 and the Glitch 64 were running simultaneously. And there is a reason for that, somewhat. Although it's kind of complicated. It gets very complicated around this era, so it's gonna be a bit hard to explain. And there's gonna be jumping points all over the place. So, bear with me. Stepping back a bit, to about late 2011, I did a series of an old PC game that I had. And it was called Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. And I record this, because it's a PC game, I record it in the computer room, right next door to my mum watching TV or whatever. Luckily you couldn't hear her, but she could probably hear me screaming about random video games, so bless her for putting up with that.
And the Black Knight Ghost, he just does a compilation of those moves, a couple of his own moves, and a couple of the generic moves, and that's it. See, that's a minor 49 move. I'm not going to point them out all as we go, but he has his own moves, he has other people's moves, and he has the generic moves. But anyway, Skull, Bat, Moon, Bone, Bat. So yeah, it gets a little faster. And here's Fred now. Come on, come on, come on, come on! Come get some!
And that video got big. It got thousands of views. That was the first time that ever happened to me. That the first time I'd ever had a video reach the thousands mark. And it was really interesting. It was really weird. I felt like finally I've done it. I've finally found the Let's Play that's done it for me. But I didn't really like it. Because at the time, I had absolutely no way of capturing PC games like that. In fact, I still really don't. I have the technology to perfectly capture any windowed game, but old PC games at the time like that, well, they didn't really do windowed mode, they were full screen mode. and any kind of recording software I used back then, and even most recording softwares I use now, do not get on well with full screen mode. True, I could probably do it now if I had a dual monitor setup, but obviously we didn't have that on the old shitty family computer, so no way to record it. So I had to do the old tripod digital camera pointed at the screen technique. Because it got popular, it was being watched by people who were there for the game and not really for me, and so it was at a point where people were obviously picking up on and disliking the fact that it was pointing a camera at a screen with black bars going around it. And it was around that time, in 2012, that I started doing, no, 2012 was around the time where I got the Hauppauge. It was finally something, I had a screen capture that could record any AV game system. And I bought a subscription to Screencast-O-Matic, which meant that I could capture most emulators, NES, Super NES emulators.
Skull, we just tried to get some others. Oh yeah, here's another item I forgot about. Threes. Like I said, like threes, kill them in one punch.
And that was around the time when my videos started to get good. My voice deepened a bit in 2012. I had capture software to actually make things look good. And I got programs like Nestopia and things to record the games that, for disclaimers, I used emulators and I used ROMs of games that I have on the shelf there. So, I didn't do anything illegal. That's just to anyone who would report it. But it made it so I could record it with a proper screen recording software instead of pointing a damn camera at the screen. And that was around the time where I really enjoyed my videos. It was, I had a lot of fun doing them, I felt more confident in uploading them, and I wasn't getting as many hateful comments. And it was around that time I hit another big series with the Duck Life series. And that blew up. And that got a lot of love and hate as well. But again, I felt like I'd done something. This was going really well. But I felt like the channel had sort of been tainted. There was a lot of point at the screen Let's Plays, there was a lot of hate going on in the comments. So I thought I would jump ship onto another channel. I did that a lot, as you can tell. In fact, I was almost tempted to do that again and start a new channel for the comeback. But I've decided, no. The Glitch 64 is the one that stays, and will stay forever. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stick with this one. If the ship's going down, I'm going down with it. I'm not jumping ships from Glitchman 64 to Glitchman 64 2, and I'm not jumping ships from Glitch 64 to the Glitch 64. You might be wondering, well, if I didn't like Glitch 64 and I wanted to jump onto this channel, why did I start this channel in June 2012 but continue uploading on Glitch 64 as well until March 2013? Why did I even do the Pokemon Gold series on there instead of on the Glitch 64? And to be honest, I can't remember too much of why. I know a few reasons why. I don't know why I did Pokemon Gold on that channel well after I had done the Simpsons Hit and Run Let's Play on the Glitch 64, which was the first Let's Play I did on there. And I loved it. That was the first one I was really proud of. I still am proud of that Simpsons Hit and Run Let's Play. But at the very start of Glitch 64, I wanted it to be a review channel. And I made a lot of these Windows Movie Maker update videos where I had, this channel is going to be for original skits and stuff, Glitch 64 is going to be for Let's Plays, and now introducing the Glitch 64 for reviews.
However, I'm probably just going to tell you guys the PS2 controls. Okay, so the left thumbstick here moves your character, and the right thumbstick here moves the camera. I'm pretty sure this also moves your character. However, one problem I seem to be having with the camera is it keeps getting stuck in awkward places.
Eel Pokemon's still level 5. That's a bit sad. Oh. Okay, you're only doing 2 HP, so I can try Razor Leaf, see what it does. Probably nothing because you're a fire type, duh. But I don't know, could do more than Tackle. It does like the same as Tackle.
And I still do a few reviews. You might have seen my review on the Dalai Hawks Nintendo 64, on the Hello Mac controller. I still do that sort of thing. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about the game itself. Like Diddy Kong Racing, this game has somewhat of a story. Now, I never played Snowboard Kids 1, so you're going to go into this as blind as I am here, with our 6 protagonists and their rather extreme noses. Linda over here looking like she could participate in an impromptu javelin contest from time to time. But I realized that that wasn't really my style. My style was sort of Let's Plays. And so I realized there was no need for Glitch 64 anymore. Let's just start the Let's Plays on the Glitch 64. And thus, this channel was properly born. And, like I said, Simpsons Hit Run was the first Let's Play that I am still, to this day, very proud of. I have respect for my old Let's Plays like Pokepark Wii and the House of the Dead 2. Although, I will say for the House of the Dead 2, I have a much better version of that video that I'm going to talk about in just a little bit. So, the Glitch 64 started in June 2012 with the Simpsons Hit and Run Let's Play, and around that time, my cousin was getting involved in making gaming videos. So, I'd stopped making videos with Josh and John at this point. They were never on the Glitch 64. Both of them stopped on Glitch 64. But my cousin and I collaborated on a few things. In fact, we got to a point where we made a channel called Mythic Wolves. And on that channel, you will find a better version of the House of the Dead 2 Let's Play where it's both of us playing, screen captured, and I think the commentary is a lot more funny. They kill people that don't even save time. The little kid's like, no, you shoot him. For no reason.
My cousin keeps disappearing. Suddenly.
I don't think you should have calibrated it. We might have to reset after this part. Like reset the software.
At last, you've come.
Friends.
Friends, the door of fate shall open.
It's got no doorknob.
Also, you just push the door. That's not very secure. If someone's just gonna go, ooh, it's the Emperor room.
I recommend checking it out. It's called Mythic Wolves. Hopefully that channel's been kind of stagnant, but I'm hoping to revive that one too. But let's stay on track. Now, I stopped doing Let's Plays with Mario Party 2 and Chick Chick Boom. They were the last ones I did in 2014. In my experience with this game and friends' experience with this game, you don't want to go for the yellow or the silver one a lot. The yellow one seems to be the one that's really sort of weird, and Wario's here to prove my point. Thanks, Wario! 4 years ago. From 2015 till mid-2018, this channel stopped being a Let's Play channel, and I focused very primarily on the Glitch 64 reads. The Glitch 64 reads became my main channel, and until very recently it was the main channel. From, like I said, 2015 till the middle of this year, that's the one I focused on. And the Glitch 64 became a secondary channel that I would dump the video proof of speedruns. I got into speedrunning in 2015, and all the videos I did for that, personal bests, attempts and all that, were just dumped onto the Glitch 64 in no order or anything like that. And I like to keep my channels very orderly. A lot of the reasons I jump from channel to channel is because I feel like it's all cluttered and messed up, and I just want it all in one nice place. In fact, because of that, I might be deleting some of the non-Let's Play videos. A bunch of the, well, not reviews, but like the random speedrun stuff. I might be just deleting that and trying to get the channel all nice and concise again. Think of it like cleaning your room, basically. That's kind of what I want to do to this channel, instead of just jumping and starting a new one. which is like demolishing your building and just making a new bedroom. But yeah, 2014 is when I stopped it, and then yeah, 2015 is when I just started doing speedrun stuff. And very briefly, the reason I was doing Glitch 64 Reads More is because there was obviously no community for me in Let's Play. I was just on my own, apart from videos I would do with my cousin. And on the Glitch 64 Reads, there was a lot of collaboration work. I'd made a lot of friends. I was talking a lot on Skype with friends, and I met my first girlfriend, turned fiance, turned ex-fiance, doing narrations. So I kind of want to do that, and yeah, I kind of forgot about the channel. And then the community side of narrating creepypastas sort of eroded. Yeah, my relationship broke off, and narrating became very hard for me, and I lost the motivation to do it. But I never lost the motivation to do video game stuff. It's just that I was focusing on speedrun stuff without noticing that I was laying the Let's Play stuff down. It wasn't my intention. I was doing like, I'm doing speedruns. So, you know, that's all my gaming stuff. I don't want to now do Let's Plays slowly and thoroughly. And all my editing time was going towards these creepypastas. I wanted to make them good. But now that I'm not worrying about creepypastas anymore, and now that I've sort of backed off from speedrunning, I can come back to it. And thus, the comeback, 11 years in the making, you know, that's where we are now. And, you know, in 2018 and hopefully onwards, I will be back to Let's Plays, and we will be back to our roots, back where we started. And that's kind of where I want to be. I always wanted to do Let's Plays. I feel bad for letting the channel turn into just a speedrun dumping ground. I feel bad that I neglected this channel to go into my other one. But, with that said, it's back. So, I'll leave you with a little bit of a clip show of the random things without the music over it that I did for my big announcement thing. And yeah, we'll leave on that. But one last thing before we go. With getting back into Let's Plays on this channel, I can announce Let's Play 9. Yes, 9. And what game will that be? Well, it is none other than... They wouldn't die. I got 2 lives to the Emperor. Yeah, this is gonna go well.
Friends.
I've been waiting for you, friends.
Goldman! Do you know what you're doing?
I'm fully aware of what I'm doing. Can't you see? Man committed a sin, disturbing the life cycle of nature. The original sin that man is responsible to. To protect the life cycle. I have made a creature to rule over mankind.
Kind.
This is the final battle. Show yourself. Our new ruler, the Emperor.
And in this corner,
We have the Emperor!
and in this corner, James.
I am the one who rules over nature. I shall destroy and hate mankind. I am the Emperor.
This is like pretty much the beta or the alpha form of curing this really.